I want to bring in a different aspect, a different value system that might. I do not know about the window period you're speaking of. As far as I'm concerned, that kind of exists in every moment, because at this
Okay.
very, at this very minute, my agreeing or not agreeing to you is changing my destiny with immediate force. Immediate force. It does not need any long-term understanding or this. Now, what I need to do is at this point of time, I need to prepare for this window period, in the window period earlier to this, which is the moment prior to this. And for that moment, I needed to have prepared one moment prior to that. Because every moment it keeps changing, and by the time it comes to me at this point, the only freedom that I have is to accept the present or else not accept the present, and that is the window that I allow to influence me or not. If I insist on, um, so to go a little finer into that, what I'm trying to say is, so it is possible that the examples of the conflicting bunties that I told you, one is an arrogant bunty and one is a seeker bunty, maybe they can both coexist at some moments where a part of me thinks that I am guiding the conversation into a direction which I want. Very subtly, maybe I'm unaware of it. At the same time, there is a possibility that I'm just genuinely discovering as we go along. So there are multiple versions to us. Our inability to study ourselves in various parts uh, is what creates a hindrance in understanding. But having said that, I want to now come to the question that I have for you. So, with whatever your learnings, we'll go by your version of the window periods that they happen, and at times they may be big window periods. So, a lot of thoughts were coming to my mind. One of the famous stories of uh, Angulimal in the Buddha stories is one of the most fantastic stories.
Hmm.
The guy who's killed 999 people, and he is trying to kill his thousandth, which happens to be the Buddha. And
Hmm.
then he listens to the Buddha and changes into, he becomes a saint actually. And at that point, we learn the emphasis of how it's beyond comprehension. Honestly, there are very few stories in the world that match the intensity of that story in terms of the immensity of karma vis-a-vis one small act where he decides to change, and he can change his entire destiny, if you were to call it that. In fact, it's a good movie if the viewers would want to go and see. It's a Hindi movie available on YouTube where it is about destiny itself. He was destined to kill 1,000 people and become a murderer or some such thing, something on those lines. So now but that again is a very strong and a big story and one rarity in not only those times, in today's times as well, much more so. So talking about normal people like you and me and trying to figure out destiny, is there a way one can continuously what I liked was when you said, okay, you read it again and again to develop a sense of humility to the understanding that the line is trying to bring, because without that you will not understand what is being said until you understand it in its totality, or at least in the manner that you are supposed to understand. If you bring in the destiny bit, you will not be able to go to the next level of your game, whatever that game is supposed to be. It could be good, it gets bad. Sometimes what seems good is the worst for us, and what seems the worst is actually the best for us.
Yes.
So
True.
destiny is not an easy thing because we go by apparent truths that are happening. My question to you is there a way to prepare for these windows? Is there a way one can, what are the properties that you are trying to build in yourself so that you are much more prepared when the windows of opportunity arise to change your destiny
Be
for
able to make a change. Yeah. Well, I don't think we can prepare for that. I don't think so because we don't know when the time comes for us to decide something. Yes, again, prayer can help. only asking for the guidance from the power that controls us and controls everything. Asking for guidance will help us probably to be able to recognize when we are given that small window that, okay, now you choose, you decide. Yes, we should be able to have that kind of thing in us, to be able to decide, have the power in us. That again flows from the universe,
Okay.
to be able to recognize that yes, this is the moment that has been given to me where I can make a change in my destiny. Most of the times we are unable to recognize it, and most of the times it just passes, and only in retrospection do we realize that yes, I was given a chance but I did not seize it.
Okay.
So usually no, but it's just by trying to understand these things that yes, sometimes yes, we can take a decision or not take a decision, but saying that we can prepare for that period, no, I personally don't think we can.
Mm, okay. If I were to take the examples you've given earlier, why is cultivating that kind of mindset not helpful? So, for example, you've been reading. There are thousands of people who are reading scriptures even as we talk right now. A lot of them, me and this friend were chatting yesterday or day before. He was talking about his family, and he said, my mother reads something and she is very, very proud of the fact that she finishes the said portion within 10 minutes instead of 15 these days. So we were,
So then again, that is not yeah, I have also faced such things. I also know of people who take pride in being able to read something and say 30 minutes, something that takes a normal person maybe 2 hours. Oh, I read it in 30 minutes. The point is not reading it in 30 minutes or reading it in 2 hours. The point is absorbing what we are reading. Even if you are just reading for 5 minutes, using whatever you read, utilizing it or letting it uh, teach you something is what matters at the end, not just having read it.
yeah. So this
We
is
all tend to do.
exactly my question to you. So if this kind of mindset that you spoke of, if one keeps developing this, so this becomes a seeker is one who seeks, a listener is one who listens. So a reader who one is one who reads. So when you bring these three qualities together, when you're doing whatever, if reading the scriptures is one's point of view. Now, couple of things that are already said for us, I would want to point out because a lot of people think they are unimportant. I think, or maybe atheists think they are unimportant, or clever people think this is nonsensical belief. I personally think it is a good mindset to have. So if you already have belief, it kind of helps you uh, the state of mind to be positive in terms of reading the scripture itself. So it is not a small thing to have belief. Even if it is farcical belief, it still is of much use. Even if it is religious belief, even if it is a family led belief, for that moment when you are doing the scripture, there is a sense of pause. You believe. So on belief versus anti-belief, you have put your lot in the side of belief. Now that you are reading, the line that is being read, it matters to you because your guru or your deity or your uh, chosen force seems to have either those properties or those values are being spoken of. Now, sometimes it is as simple as just reading this and taking it for at face value. I do not remember the exact word that, yeah, I think I was having a talk. There is a famous um, 3, 4 lines that a lot of non-Sikhs are also know about thanks to the song being used in Rang De Basanti. So the last 4 lines are Aaj Sach, Jugaad Sach, Hai Bhi Sach, Nanka Osi Bhi Sach. So that friend of mine was asking, so where is God then? You're saying there is no God. At that point we were discussing and I was putting across some point about that. I said there is no supreme power deciding for us. So then immediately she quoted this. So Aaj Sach, Jugaad Sach, Hai Bhi Sach, Nanka Osi Bhi Sach. What does it mean? I said, well, it clearly says truth. It never said God. It is you who created that scenario that it is God or a supreme being or so and so, at least in those 4 lines. He is clearly saying, and the truth, what other truth do you need? You have these 5 senses. Right now, the truth in front of you is that you're sitting, you're standing, you're drinking water, you're not drinking water. That is the truth that you start with. Of course, there are deeper truths, but at least you start with this is the finality of what I know. So, this is the finality. Then you learn, okay, water is H2O, so there is a deeper truth. And when you bring 2 parts of hydrogen and bring 1 part of oxygen, then it becomes water. So, you understand a deeper truth. Then you figure out some stuff about your body and that I'm a human being. There are other human beings like me. So there is no greatness in this name that I have or this religion that I belong to. So these are, as you go on going deeper, you realize there are more truths than you thought there are. So aaj sach chukad sach to we are, it is beyond us for now. But the path is the same because mystifying it or making it so sacred that we refuse to critically analyze what it is supposed to mean. And on the surface level, I'm not even talking about deeper truths right now. I think it kind of uh, cancels out the gift that we've been given. On one hand, as human beings, we are proud of the fact that we are the people who can analyze things. We have a scientific temper. We can create, co-create, if you want to call it. Because I personally think a lot of it is co-creation. God or no God does not affect my belief in goodness. I think there is a line somewhere, there may or may not be God, but there is godliness. So I like to feel that there is a sense of uh, creation of good values and they lead to something, whatever they may lead to, however long they may take. And this is an analysis, this is what the human condition is about, where you profess to be something and your life constantly is pushing you and saying, you're not this, you're not this, which is a black humor thing for all of us. If I think I'm intellectual, then the questions always are intellectual in front of me. If I'm spiritual, then all the questions test my belief system or my meditation system or whatever that I choose to believe. So at every point, life is a good, what is called a koan in Japanese. You mentioned somewhere that you read a line and try to contemplate on it for a longer period of time. In the Japanese Zen philosophy, the masters give you one line that you're supposed to spend your entire life on. It's called a koan. And to trouble you, they give you questions that really have no answers. So, what is the sound of one hand clapping? Is a famous koan. Now you put your head around it. I can assure you, you can spend as much time as you want. I have many times picked up different koans. It's not easy to crack. It's definitely not easy to crack because they want you to live the experience of the inability to have the answer. So in your case also, if I were to analyze your understanding of master plan or destiny, as you called it, is the sense of humility that is helping you become a better human being, which to me is irrespective of where you come from. Because there's this line I think which says, uh, "Do not discuss your reasons. Let your actions speak for themselves." Because while
Yeah.
actions may sometimes be right, your reasons may likely tend to be wrong or debated. So I would think that for ourselves in contemplation, yes, we got to contemplate the kind of topics we are talking about. My question to you is, why do you say that we cannot influence it to a great deal? Because all the properties that you mentioned, the humility, the sense of seeking, the ability to understand there could be other points of view, a master point of view in your words, which is not matching yours, which still has to be accepted, which is simply put acceptance of life, uh, good or bad. Uh, Not taking things at face value, not reading them, figuring out the truth of things in the sense of not trying to
Yes.
finish in 20
Yes.
minutes.
Figure it.
You spend time on it. So you're grappling with the meaning that that particular line in the scripture may mean. Now that is, to me, at least, I think that quality of seeking, the quality of humility, the quality of saying I am willing to learn is one of the strongest qualities in terms of allowing, call it destiny, God, whatever, to teach you something. Life, it may be preordained or not. That is a separate topic itself, which I'll come to immediately after this. So my question to you